It's a great achievement that ICEPCVE has been able to conduct the second annual research conference on preventing and countering violent extremism.
Every single day that comes and goes, there are different groups forming. There are several attacks on different countries or different states. I mean, a lot has to be understood on why these things are happening.
There is a lot of changes that is taking place, the recruitment patterns, the nature of recruitment, the target, etc. are changing rapidly. And the only way we can unpack these new developments and changes in the context is by investing in continuous research.
Research is very important because all the decisions made to counter and prevent violent extremism is based on some information about what can be best done to prevent it and counter it. And you can only get that information credibly through research.
So it's good to have researchers engaged on these topics in Africa. I feel it's an important issue because the region is more than any other region affected by violent extremism issues and terrorist attacks, obviously. So we need to have researchers coming in these areas as well.
So that we can come up with different type of implementations that really need to be observed in our society and also on a regional level.
Coordination and cooperation are the two factors that will help a lot, because actually without this gathering, without coming together, without having a joint vision, in this greater Horn of Africa, we cannot do nothing at all.
The media is the oxygen of terrorism. So we cannot have a holistic agenda on how to prevent and counter violent extremism without involving what role the media plays.
My concern is there a way censorship can be done so that there are safer spaces for reporting violent extremism?
People are attracted to conspiracy theories based on their psychological disposition.
These 3 days have been really intense, and it was really an insightful and a very fruitful conference. I have learned a lot from the researchers and the scholars that are here present. We discussed about different perspectives. I have also changed my own opinions on some sort of issues when it comes to encountering and preventing violent extremism.
And definitely the findings from this research are extremely important for governments and for IGAD itself in trying to mitigate the adverse effect the COVID-19 has had on efforts to address an ongoing crisis around violent extremism that has predated this period.
We had researchers all around the Horn region: Ethiopia, Somalia, Djibouti, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda. And we have been able to see some common trends in terms of what is unfolding in peace and security and violent extremism as well. And I believe it provides a huge platform for researchers, for policymakers, I think, to not just to see the individual countries and what problems they are facing, but also to project the regional trend in security.
And I'm really so happy that I'm part of this. As a young researcher, I'm looking forward to learning from most of these colleagues from the region. And I've also realized that there is a lot of knowledge that if we can unpack, then in future research, we may not need to hire someone from Europe or someone from other countries to come and do for us this research.
I encourage the center to do more research-based conferences, because this is where the brains are meeting, and then from this kind of conferences we can get a lot of resolutions, a lot of recommendations, and also a lot of implementations that need to be done in light of preventing and countering violent extremism in a local level and also in a regional level.